Hi, it's Miss Ramsey. This story is for anybody really, but I wanted to make sure I had something read that would be appropriate for the 4th and 5th grade students, but anyone can listen to this. This is from a book called Think Positive, Live Happy. It's a Chicken Soup for the Soul book, and this one is about facing challenges at school or with things that you're not very good at, and I want to tell you a secret. It's not really a secret, but I was terrible at math as a young student, and I actually couldn't do math starting in about 3rd or 4th grade. I just thought it was way too hard. I couldn't understand it. And I had to study for hours in college to be able to pass my math classes. And then the more I studied it, the more I actually kind of enjoyed it, like really started to enjoy it, and did math problems for fun. I know, right? For you guys who love math, you're probably like, yeah, I do them for fun. They're awesome. So this story really reminded me of how you can overcome a situation where you just feel like you can't do something. Aftermath. One of the greatest discoveries a man makes, one of his greatest surprises, is to find he can do what he was afraid he couldn't do. Henry Ford. The numbers seemed to melt together. I felt the tears coming again. It was lunch period, but here I was, standing at the blackboard trying to solve a multiplication problem. Mrs. Harris had said, "You're going to finish that problem if it takes you all lunch period." And then I thought I heard her mumble, "You are just dumb." That was 3rd grade and the beginning of my dislike of math. I did everything possible to avoid it. Even when I worked as a bank teller after graduating from junior college, the computer did the work for me. But then I had a chance to get a 4-year degree. There was only one problem. I had to take a math class in order to get in. When I read the course description, I saw that the class involved many mathematical procedures, such as percentages, powers, and permutations. I shuddered. If I wanted a chance at this dream, I had to face up to my fear, or I could work behind the teller desk forever. The ultimate question was, how badly did I want to go to the university? Was it enough to face not just multiplication, but powers and permutations and all the other concepts I had no experience with? When I decided to brave the class, I learned that it was already full, and it was the only class that would fulfill my math requirement. I would need to talk to the instructor, Mr. Thorpe. I called his office after rehearsing what I would say. Holding the receiver to my ear with a trembling hand and ignoring the stares of customers at the teller windows, I said, "Mr. Thorpe, if you could see me, you would know how much I want to be in your class. I'm on my knees." What do you think that means? I'm on my knees. I think maybe begging, like pleading, like, "Oh, please." He agreed to make an exception. My supervisor gave me 1 morning off a week to attend the class. I got an F on the first test. The second was a D-. After a week, I decided perhaps it wasn't meant to be. The ultimate humiliation would be to finish the course but fail the test I had set up for myself. I couldn't endure it. I would be confirming what my 3rd grade teacher had mumbled about me. I was dumb. I called Mr. Thorpe the next morning, thanking him for giving me the chance to succeed, but admitting that I just had to face it. Math would never be my strength, and it would not be the way into the university. I would find some other way, some other time. There was a silence on the other end of the phone, and then I heard him take a slow, even breath and say, "Leah, I don't know if you have noticed, but the class is smaller. There were 257 students enrolled in this course, and now there are 64. You can't quit now. You're a survivor." He waited for my response, and I tried to sound unemotional and detached as I said, "I've decided I cannot continue, especially after seeing my grades. I want to thank you for admitting me." There was another long silence. I waited for him to accept my decision and end the conversation. Instead, he continued, "I wasn't going to tell you this, but there's a woman from the university who calls me weekly. She says, I have the admittance papers here ready for Leah. How's she doing? Do you think I'll be needing these? I closed my eyes. I really didn't want to hear this. He continued, and I'll tell her, there's not a doubt in my mind. She has hung on. She's a survivor. The tears flowed down my face. I wish you hadn't told me that, I managed to say. Do you still want to leave the class? He responded, ignoring my last remark. I was quiet, sniffling, feeling backed into a corner. No, I said softly. Fine, I'll see you in class on Tuesday. I was stunned. Didn't I just call to drop out of that class? After that, I never thought about those test grades again. I studied every weekend with a friend over coffee and donuts. When it was time to see our grades, I said a prayer before I looked. C+, I had passed. Months later, I found myself walking up the steps to start at the university. They seemed to be welcoming me, leading me to the beginning of my new life. An overpowering sense of gratitude brought me to my knees again, and I found myself leaning down to kiss the steps. I didn't even feel my knees on the cement. All around me, I felt eyes on me. I didn't care. I had grabbed my second chance by the tail. Then I got up and rushed off so I wouldn't be late for my first class. Take that, Mrs. Harris. That one's from Leah Cano. So if there's something you're not good at, just keep trying. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be an A+ student in it. This lady got to be a C+, and that kind of sounds like me. In my college, I only got to be a B- student, and I studied about 3 hours a day every time I had class. But I didn't give up, and I didn't quit. So I'll be reading some more of these to you guys throughout the semester. Have a great day.